Alright, so I thought I'd do a quick video. I wanted to comment on the crazy increase, at least in the last month or last few weeks, of LGBT really hate crimes, is what it really comes down to. There was another teen today that committed suicide, or in the last 48 hours. College student, 19 years old. Basically, two other college students decided they would tape him having sex, I guess, with another guy, and then broadcast it on the internet. And I don't know, I haven't read the full story because my internet has been kind of spotty. Thank you, school. But basically, they broadcast it on the internet, and he killed himself. I'm not sure if he was out or if he was in the closet or what the deal was. But there's been sort of a rash of crazy anti-LGBT things that have gone on. There was that. There's this. It really broke today in the last 48 hours as well. An assistant attorney general in Michigan has basically been on his private time, free time, but still a public official, basically stalking and harassing the student body president of Michigan, who is the first openly gay student body president of Michigan. This guy set up a blog. He's been outside this guy's house and yelling stuff and putting pictures of him up with a gay flag and a swastika on it. I mean, really crazy, hateful stuff. And it sounds like the guy's gonna be suing him for harassment and maybe defamation. But, and then there was the trans teen in Michigan who his class voted him homecoming king, and the school decided to strip him of that because he was registered as a female. And so he, despite the fact that his peers voted him homecoming king, which is his gender, the school stripped him of that. And for people who don't understand, first of all, as a women's studies minor, it kind of almost blows my mind to think that there are people out there who don't understand there's a difference between sex and gender. By the way, go look that up. Spend 5 minutes. That will be 5 minutes well spent on helping to understand trans and LGBT issues. But, yeah, so that was just craziness. And it's sort of, people people who are against gay equality as a whole, gay rights for people as a whole, like to say that, these are isolated issues. They are and they're not. It's really, and I really believe it's the same kind of crazy attitude where it's okay to make someone the other because you've got some crazy religious or political belief. Or maybe you're just a bigot. I mean, there's a lot of that there. But it's sort of, we've started to let, I think, hate speech pass as free speech. And, it's okay for people to say, hey, what you're saying is mean-spirited, or, that's not right. It's okay for us to say that. And we have to, I've started being more outspoken. One thing, I feel as though the gay community is the last accepted group for discrimination, really. I mean, we've pretty much outlawed discrimination on, every other aspect of one's identity and one's character. But we still haven't made discriminating against gays and lesbians, made us a protected class. And there are so many facets to the LGBT community that need protection, that I feel like it's a huge gap. And I feel as a country and as a society, we're letting ourselves down. Parents need to start educating their kids better about, there are people out there who have what may seem like strange ideas about who they are. It's hard explaining to 5-year-olds that there are people out there who are transsexual. But it's not that difficult to explain to a 12 or 13-year-old. In this world of crazy, internet and Wikipedia and everything else, it's not that difficult to explain to a 12 or 13-year-old that, hey, some people are born as guys, but they actually feel as though they should have been in a girl's body, and they're having issues with that, or that's something they're having to live with. And that's not something that is that difficult to explain. It's about taking the time and wanting to do it. And we as a society have to start doing it. And growing up, it's almost hard to explain to people. It's almost like if you're a minority, if you're a person of color, or you're somebody with a disability or something, you have dealt with discrimination, with people staring or assuming that you are, if you're a black guy, somebody coming up to the street and, hey, you want to go play basketball or listen to rap music, and it's like, no, you've got some crazy idea in your head, or somebody following you in the store because they think you're going to steal something. If you're a minority, you've experienced discrimination, and it's like that for LGBT, lesbians, gays, bisexuals, sometimes sexuals, but tenfold, really, I feel, because it's not something that's external. For some of us, it is. Some people, you walk by and you're just like clearly homosexual. But for a lot of people, it's not like that. There are a bunch of people who are in the closet or struggling with sexuality, and sexuality is fluid. My God, it's not. I mean, we haven't even accepted in this country the idea of sort of concrete, ends of the spectrum. We haven't really, we haven't gotten to the point where we, as a society and as a country, really understand and accept and appreciate that there are straight people and gay people, much less bisexuals, people whose sexuality is fluid. People always ask, I say I'm gay, I'm like, for now. I mean, who knows? It's like anything. It's changing. But we've created this crazy dichotomy where you're either straight or gay, and even if you're gay, we're not really gonna give you equal rights. So it makes it difficult, especially for people who are still in the closet, who are still grappling with that. I mean, how are they gonna feel safe if the image that we project is that we don't accept you, that's not okay? People are going to internalize that, and that's why, that's why there are husbands running around on their wives, and all this stuff. And it's like, be who you are. I've been there. It's a hard, road to hoe, but lying to yourself and your loved ones isn't helping anybody. And if we create an environment where sexuality can be kind of an open discussion, something that's not taboo, then I think it's a safer environment for everybody involved. It hurts because I've been there. I've been that bullied kid. I got chased down after school one day and somebody clocked me in the face because I was that gay kid. Before I even knew what gay was, let alone that I was gay. I mean, it was great being like a 5th or 6th grader. And, oh, you're the gay kid, and let's get him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Am I wearing the wrong shirt? What's going on? So, parents, dialogue with your kids. We need more supportive parents for people who are LGBT growing up. And then don't be, basically a blanket statement. Never in my presence will you use derogatory terms for Latinos, African Americans, gay people, lesbians, gay, bisexuals, transgendered people. A big category that's really started to get in my nerve for some reason. HIV positive people. The CDC released a report this week that I think it's 20% of gay men are HIV positive. Half of them don't know it. We've created this awful stigma, basically, where two things have happened. A, people have come to believe that because we have HIV drugs that they no longer have to have safe sex, which is a complete fallacy. And safe sex is not just when you're actually having intercourse. Oral sex does count. My mother told me this from a young age, and it's finally started to catch on. All sex needs to be safe. It's just how it is. Especially if you're a married person and you're sleeping with men behind your wife's back. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. There are people out there who are having unsafe sex and going home and having sex with their wives. There are numerous stories. You've probably seen them on Maury and Jerry. And, brought home HIV or chlamydia. And it's like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, I know sex is fun, and it's supposed to be a wonderful, beautiful thing. Some people think only for marriage. I don't adhere to that, obviously, because I can't get married. But, yeah, you have to be safe. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. There's no sex so good worth risking your health and your life over. It's just, I'm sorry. I've had some good sex, but there's none out there that I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to die at 40. None. Nada. Nothing. So, like I said, if you're in my presence, no jokes about anything. You wouldn't joke about somebody having cancer. I wouldn't. Actually, that's not true. I have joked about Rush Limbaugh having cancer. I immediately regretted it because it's very mean. But joking about any of that stuff, that's life-changing stuff. People are dying. It's not HIV in the closeted LGBT youth. It's crazy. People's lives are at stake, and it's time to take action. So speak up, speak out, stand proud.